What's up everyone, Kevin Gallagher here with Gallagher Business Development, and one thing you need to know right off the bat about my wife is she is about the greatest gift giver on the planet. She will listen to everything you say out loud all year long. For example, back in July, I simply put a post on Facebook saying, does anybody use a Cricut machine? What do you think? Is there other options that are good? She literally remembered that small, quick post that I made, and then during the Black Friday Amazon sales, found a Cricut machine and went ahead and ordered it. Hang on. So here it is, the Cricut Explore Air. We're gonna take a look at this and see if it's something that makes sense for your business. But overall, I'm gonna give you my impression, tell you what I think, and we'll take it from there. Let's get it going. Now, as I start off by saying in every video like this is not a paid endorsement. This wasn't even given to me for free by the company, as I do get some tech from some companies to do product reviews. So I'm going to give you my straight up thought on the Cricut machine and whether or not it'd be a good investment for you. So first and foremost, I'm not gonna do an unboxing. It was about the most uninteresting unboxing. I actually did film it. I sat down and took everything out of the box, and when you realize there's 4 things in the box and they're, other than the machine, very uninteresting, I didn't see a point in it. But here's some footage of the machine itself on my desk so you could just take a look at what came out of the box. So let's go ahead and talk about the different machines that Cricut has. Depending on your use and what you're looking to use your Cricut machine for, if you're just a weekend warrior, if you're looking to use it for your own personal stuff, if you're looking to create a business out of this, these different levels are going to matter. For example, the Cricut Joy might be extremely cost effective for you, but it only prints in 5.5-inch widths. You're not going to get a full 12-inch width, which, believe it or not, depending on what you're printing, if you're putting these on shirts, that's going to make a difference. You're going to want to be able to get up to 12 inches. Otherwise, you're going to have to print small batches at 5.5 and then have to put them on and make sure they're aligned. The Cricut Joy for most people is not going to be the option. You're going to want to be looking at the Explore Air 2 or higher than that. Now, as you come across, you have the Explore Air 2, the Maker, the Explore Air, and the Explore 1. The one that I ended up with here is the Explore Air, which, as I look at the options that are listed here, it's perfect for me and what I'm looking to do. All of the rest of these options, all cut in 12-inch. It looks like the Maker is the highest level, being pro-level DIY performance and versatility. Otherwise, all the rest of them are a wide range of DIY hobbies. You come down here, you could do over 300 materials with the Maker, whereas all the other ones are 100 materials plus. In the case of the Maker, they also do, so while these all do cutting, writing, scoring, the Maker also does other pro-level effects. So it'll go in, you go into the leather, you go into other fabrics, you go into a larger range of materials and options that you can do when you go to the Maker level. Really cool thing here, all of these are Bluetooth. And other than the Cricut Joy, they are also USB. Now, in the case of today's example, I'm going to do USB. But if you're a Mac user like I am, you know how frustrating it is to have to unplug everything from your dongle, take it over, and replug it in if you have it in a different spot. I'm definitely going to be connecting the Bluetooth as soon as possible from that perspective. But this gives you an idea. What's interesting about this comparison, it's not like it's in a comparison from best or from worst to best or from whatever. They put their best option right there in the middle. So you don't really know which one's better, worse. I mean, Explore 1 is here, Explore Air 2 is here. Then it's not clear, but one thing is clear is that these 3 seem to do a lot of the same tasks. This one seems to be the king of the hill, and this little guy over here is, you know, if you have a teenager who just wants to cut something to put onto their ukulele or something like that, then that's where you're at with the Cricut Joy. So depending on what your goals are for getting a Cricut machine, if you're just somebody who wants to start a small business and be doing labeling on coffee mugs, if you want to be making masks, if you want to be making t-shirts, whatever it might be, I believe that the Explorer Air and the Maker are going to be the best two for the sheer volume of different options that you have. So let's go ahead and see how easy it is to use this machine. Okay, so once you get the software downloaded to either your Mac or your PC, whatever machine you use for your creative process, a couple things you want to note up front is while you're creating a project, you're going to want to put it into Photoshop or some type of a thing first and really think about how you want it to lay out. So if I suddenly sound very different, forgive me. I did have to change to a different microphone. Something is not working as to plan with my current mic. But in this case, again, inside of here, we're choosing from one of two options. Really think about how you design your piece. Now, in the case of this, I want to just cut out of paper. So we're going to be using this image here. We're going to shrink it down so that it's going to be within the 12-inch frame, and I'm going to give myself a little bit of space. So number one thing that I'm going to show you here is make sure things like these lines are thicker. If you're going to be just straight cutting out of paper and making a stencil, you're going to want to make sure you make these lines thicker and be thoughtful of areas like this where you have these two little dots inside of the B. In both of those, it was very difficult to, well, not so much in this one, but in this one here, I'm going to want to be a little bit more mindful of how I design and what font I'm using, because if I want to create a stencil, those two dots are not going to show up inside of that B once it's printed out, which you'll see later on. The other tip I'm going to give you here is if you put this all the way up in the top left corner, you're going to start cutting from the edge. Give yourself some space. I recommend having an inch all the way around. It's just a very safe area to be cutting from. Once you're happy with the layout, everything looks the way you want it to look, you simply just come over here at the top right and click Make It. Make It will then show you the exact way to position this on your light grip board. So you saw that one of the materials it came with, and you'll see this in a second, is the light grip board. Again, adjust it so you have a good amount of space here. Now, if you want to change your material size, this is the spot where you're going to do that. In this case, I'm not cutting any wider than 6, so it doesn't matter if it says 12 or 6 or whatever. If you have a project where you need to create a mirror image of what you're doing, who knows why, but maybe you do. Right over here, you can click this button and it will do a flip of your image so that you can have a mirrored image. Finally, once you have it lined up and you're happy with it, you click this continue button at the bottom right and you move over to the printer. So what you're seeing, what is on my screen right now is the grid, and that grid matches perfectly to the grid that they send you. Part of what's in the box is this grid. This grid, the cool thing about it, and I've dropped mine on the floor, so mine has now dog hair on it. But the cool thing about this grid is it's sticky. So you take your paper, in this case I'm using the test paper that they sent, and you put it on to match what's on your screen. So in this case I'm just inside of an inch, but this is 6 inches wide. Everything about the cut is within that 6 inches. So check this out, it stays perfectly on there. You then take it and you line it up inside of these guides and you just push it right up to there. Then you hit this button, it's the arrow button. You're gonna press that arrow button and that's gonna line up the grid to where it should be. So now that it's pulled it in, it's got it into the grid, it's got it right where it wants to be, we're gonna go ahead and hit continue. I've selected cardstock on the options, which that should come up now to show you the different options that are on the face of the printer itself. And the last thing to do is to push the blinking Cricut button to go ahead and print it. Alright, so here we are with the finished product. So after it's done, it looks like this. Essentially what you're looking at there is it all cut out. So now what you do is you peel the paper off of the grid itself. And it's so satisfying. And what I should have is a cool silhouette. So, interesting. I still have a lot to learn, but here we are with a silhouette of the Be Small, Think Big. So now this would end up being a better car decal than it would be a cardboard cutout. So there's things that I still need to learn. However, the point is this. Out of the box, the Cricut machine is a lot of fun to use. Your ability to create, no matter if you want to be, again, a small business who's looking to create card decals, coffee mugs, and all that kind of stuff. If you're somebody like me who just wants to do it for their own good. But if you're someone looking to start a small business, I want to give a huge thumbs up and endorsement to the Cricut Explorer Air. It was a lot of fun to use. I literally took it out of the box, set it up, watched one video, which there is a great whole video series and documentation you can find on the Cricut website to help you get set up. But the bottom line is, it's ease of use, it's fun, it gives you another creative outlet, and I highly suggest, if you're at all interested in it, that you give the Cricut Explorer Air a shot. I can't speak for the rest of the Cricut line, just the Explorer Air, and it gets a massive thumbs up from me. So guys, that's it. That's all I got for y'all today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, throw me a thumbs up. Maybe put a comment below if there's some thoughts you have, if you're an experienced Cricut user or you're just very experienced at using these machines and you have some tips. Throw them in the comments below. Maybe I can use those tips for another video later on down the road. But otherwise, y'all, I wish you the best. Stay in touch with me. Hit me up on social media. Small business owners, be small. Think big. Otherwise, y'all, let's get it going. Take care.